Honest Abe. Thank you. Thank you for having me. And I just want to say the town looks beautiful. Everybody that's been involved, the community involvement in getting all these flags out, just is a real testament to the devotion that people have here for the remembrance of our fallen veterans. And on my way out here, I was coming into town and I stopped through the cemetery. Normally I'm out placing flags on graves on Memorial Day. Today I didn't get a chance to do that. But as I went through there, I saw the flags on the graves and I stopped and I actually walked around the cemetery and looked at some of the veterans' names and thought about what they must have experienced, what they went through in defending my way of life, the people that came before me. And it really resonated with me, it was very moving. So, good morning, friends, neighbors, and fellow citizens. Thank you all for coming today. I know there's cookouts, family plans, yard work, all waiting at home, but you chose to be here today, and that means something. It means that Memorial Day means something, and that gives me hope. For me, this day is more than just a national observance. It is deeply personal. I served in the United States Air Force for 23 years, and though I've since retired, anyone that's ever worn the uniform knows that service does not end when you take the uniform off. It changes you. It becomes a part of who you are. It changes the way you see the world. It changes how you value life and how you carry the memory of those who served alongside you. I had the privilege of serving in some of the most dynamic and demanding environments, from Strategic Air Command, Special Operations, Space Command, Pacific Air Forces, Air Combat Command, Air Education and Training Command, and the Air Force Intelligence Agency. All these were very different worlds, and every time I went to a new command, the mission was completely different. But there was a common bond. This common bond was the unwavering commitment by all those alongside me to protect and defend our nation. Today we honor the fallen, not just the ones in history books that are mentioned, but every man and woman who took the oath to defend and serve our country and that never made it home. And not just the ones who died in action, but also those who died from the scars they brought home with them, the ones you don't always see, the ones exposed to toxic chemicals who suffered for years. I'm gonna push through, just like all our veterans did. The ones who suffered from toxic exposure, who later succumbed to terrible diseases. And no, a train's not gonna stop, nothing will. We honor those who died, those who gave their life for our defense. The 22 a day that take their own lives even today. We will lose 22. That is who we honor today. In Special Operations, I worked alongside some of the most highly trained, highly disciplined warriors you will ever find. These were quiet professionals who didn't seek headlines. They sought results. Men and women who ran towards the mission, regardless of the risk, because they knew that lives, and very often history, depended upon it. The missions were complex, often classified, where success was not in recognition, was not measured in recognition, but the fact that others could go on living in peace. I served with some incredible people in that community. We depended on each other in ways that most people will never experience. And some of those warriors never came home. I carry their names, their faces, their stories with me, always. And on days like this, I feel especially close to them. Memorial Day reminds us, in the most profound way, that freedom is not free. It has been purchased again and again with lives, lives born and given with quiet courage. That cost is borne by the families and their fellow servicemen and women as well, by the entire communities just like this. In the Air Force, I had the privilege of serving alongside some of the most selfless people you would ever meet. People who ran towards danger, never away from it. People who left behind families, missed births, graduations. They missed holidays, milestones. I missed the birth of my last child. People who never asked for thanks. They just saluted smartly and went and did their duty. Some of these people didn't make it back. I remember standing at attention as flag-draped caskets were loaded onto planes. I remember the eerie stillness of those moments, when time seems to stop, and only the sound of a quiet crack of boots on the tarmac or the distant rustle of a flag in the wind would be audible. I remember thinking these were not just killed in action statistics that would be reported on the news. These were people I knew. They were somebody's son, somebody's daughter, their spouse, their parent, friend. They had a favorite song. They had a goofy laugh. They had dreams. Their absence created a hole in a unit, a family, a hole in a small town like this. Right here in Atlanta, we know the names. We've seen the photos in the paper. We've seen the honor guard at the cemetery. We've seen the gold stars in the windows and the blue stars. And even if we didn't know them personally, we owe them. We owe their families our deepest respect. I think about the moms and the dads in our town who raised children brave enough to raise their hand and say, "I'll go." I think about the teachers, the coaches who shaped them, the neighbors who watched them grow up, the friends who waited for them to come home. Their stories are our stories. This isn't about a national memory alone. It's local, it's personal. These were our people. Memorial Day isn't just about mourning those who fell. It's about meaning. It's about making sure that we don't let their sacrifice fade into silence or ceremony alone. Remembrance is an active responsibility. And that's especially true in our fast-paced world, where news moves quickly and attention spans are short. But today reminds us that we must pause. We must choose to remember, because if we don't, who will? I will. I choose to remember. I choose to remember Ryan Stevenson, Senior Airman, United States Air Force. He was one of the 22. Lieutenant Raj Schulte, an intel officer who died in Afghanistan, the first female academy graduate to die in the line of duty. And somebody I knew and worked with. She was a great human being. It's on us to carry their stories forward, to tell our children, our grandchildren what they stood for. Not just that they served, but why they served. What did they believe in? They believed in freedom, honor, duty. They believed in each other. So how do we honor the fallen today? We honor them by living a life of purpose. We care for our communities, that's so evident right here. We show up for each other. Again, I can see that right here. We treat each other with respect, even when we disagree, especially then. I know this is harder nowadays with social media, but it's especially true that we must treat each other with respect. We support the veterans who came home, because many of them carry burdens we cannot see. And when we see a young person considering a military path, we encourage them. We tell them the truth. It's hard, but it's noble. And we make this solemn promise to them that if they serve, we will never let them be forgotten. One of the greatest lessons I ever learned in the Air Force was that leadership was not about rank. It's about service. And this lesson applies to all of us, whether we wear a uniform or not. We each have a role to play in shaping our nation, our neighborhoods, and our future. Now, to the families of the fallen, to include those who fell to the insidious disease of Agent Orange. Many of our Vietnam veterans are suffering from that in this audience. If any of you are here with us today, I want to say this. We see you. We honor your pain, and we carry the memory of your loved ones with us, not just today, but always. Their sacrifice is not forgotten and never will be. Their legacy lives on through the freedoms we cherish, and the country they help protect. And those who have served and are serving now, thank you. You understand the weight of this day more than most. You have stood in formation. You have watched your friends deploy. You have hoped to never receive a knock on the door, yet you still served. Let Memorial Day be more than just a moment of silence. Let it be a living tribute, shown in our kindness, our courage, our commitment to one another, because that's what they fought for. We didn't all wear the uniform, but we all share in the responsibility to keep this country worthy of those who died for it. And as we leave here today, as we gather with friends and family, I hope that we carry with us not just grief, but gratitude. Gratitude for their sacrifices. Gratitude for the freedom to live, to speak, to worship, to dream. Gratitude for the generations of men and women who gave up all their tomorrows so we can have our todays. I'll leave you with this. It's a reminder I carry with me. It's a quote from Aristotle. You will never do anything in this world without courage. It is the greatest quality of the mind next to honor. And those that we honor today had both honor and courage. May we live lives worthy of their courage. May we never take their sacrifice for granted. And may we always remember, not just on Memorial Day, but every day. May God bless the fallen. May He comfort those that they left behind. And may He continue to bless this town and these people and the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. That really meant a lot to us, especially knowing you grew up here. You are part of us, and that makes us very proud. Now I'd like to introduce Mrs. Zul Kang. She's going to sing the national anthem, and I would like everybody to stand and join in with her. Thank you, Azul. Everyone be seated. There is a special bond between comrades in arms that only they have served together can fully appreciate. In recognition of this special bond, I call veterans to stand, if able, as I name the war or conflict in which you were comrades and that had some comrades give the ultimate sacrifice. If you were in Afghanistan, please stand. Iraq, please stand. The Gulf War Desert Storm, please stand. Vietnam War, please stand. Korean conflict, please stand. World War II, please stand. Any members of the military service not mentioned, please stand. Would families who have lost a loved one